You know, one day, this is all gonna pay off. I know it. I feel it in my heart, in my gut, in my soul, my spirit. It's gonna pay off. All this work that we're doing together, all these phone calls, all these one-on-one sessions, all this giving that's going on this channel right now, it's gonna pay off. I know it. I know it. So, let's get to work. We have an example of a gentleman, 54 years old, serving California today. So shout out to Cali. Got a few forms from Cali. I love it. All right. Gentleman here, he's a pilot. How cool is that? All right. Flies planes. Love it, for the American Airlines. Okay. So this gentleman makes take home pay is $8,500 to about $9,000. Okay. Total expenses are $7,623. Just about, pretty accurate. Total debt, $461,270. Whoa. And when it's all said and done, his cash flow currently is anywhere between $400 and $500. So, being that I first see high income and low cash flow, my first thought process is, okay, how do we redirect some cash to increase this cash flow so that we can get started on velocity banking, or else we're going to be here all day. Okay, so we got to redirect the money. Okay, so he saves $500 a month. Okay, so I'm going to redirect that. He don't need to save. No save. What are you doing? No one. If you have debt, especially that high, you're paying interest on, a lot of interest. Let's stop doing old school, please. We can stay old school, but with some even older school methods. Okay? Okay? Listen, redirect this money, $500 into the cash flow. That's going to give us 900 to 1,000 cash flow easily. Okay? Now, that's all I did for him, was redirect just that. Now, you know how I am. I like to redirect any and all cash flow. So he's got money going into mutual funds. He got money going into the 401k. He got money going here, money going there. Okay? I'm going to let him decide. For this example, for this scenario that I laid out, that him and I went over together, like, listen, give me that cash flow. Give me this number. Let me work with that. Okay? He already has a line of credit for $25,000 at 10.5% interest. Okay? So real quick, do the math. What's my cost? All right? Here's my chunk number, $13,870. How did I get this number? We have 3 credit cards that we owe money on. Okay? So here are the numbers. We owe $2,400 on one credit card. I didn't even write it down. $2,400 on one card, $8,470 on another card, and then I think $3,000 or so on another credit card. Okay. So when we added up all those numbers, our number was $13,870. Okay, that's going to be our chunk amount to instantly increase cash flow by this number. Okay, because he had $102 a month going towards one credit card, another $100 going towards another credit card, and then $160 going towards another credit card. Okay, so by immediately wiping those cards out, that's cash flow. So add that to the 4 plus the 5 and the 362, and our new cash flow amount day one is going to be $1,262. times that by 12, that's $15,144. That's more than my chunk amount, is it not? Correct. Okay. Now, here's another variable. Here's another number to know. Is now that we got our chunk amount is how we calculate our interest cost. So just times that, 10.5, boom. That's how much he'll pay in a year. Are we gonna owe the line of credit for a year? No. So you divide that by 12 months. That's how much he'll pay in a month. Okay? Are we gonna have an outstanding balance of $13,870 in any given month? Nah. So divide that by 30 days. Here's where he'll be. Between paying $4 a day and a little bit more, okay? Never more than this number in any given month will he pay on interest. He will not, because of the next variable I'm going to give you, okay? He gets paid bi-weekly. So split the 85, get 4,250, 4,250 is about his take-home paycheck, right? Every 2 weeks. So what is he going to do? How is it going to look? How are we going to start? Right? We have the line of credit. We took money out. We made a withdrawal of $13,870 and we called the 3 credit card companies, paid it off, paid it off, paid it off. Okay? Now what's going to happen? Whatever cash he has on hand plus the money that he will make throughout the month of October, he is going to dump back in the line of credit. Okay? And he's going to take out what he needs on a weekly, daily basis to pay the bills throughout the month of October. The same money that I put in, I'm taking out. The same money. And I paid peanuts to do it. Okay? Meanwhile, I just increased my cash flow by $362. So, minus that off the expenses for the month of October. Here's what it looks like. $8,500 to about $9,000 is going into the line of credit after we chunked. $7,261 is coming out in the same month of October to pay the rest of our bills. What stays in is $1,262. You do the math. $13,870. Divide that by the cash flow number. You'll get about 10 to 11 months to pay off the line of credit. Now, are we only going after the first month? Are we only going to put in our cash flow into the line of credit? No. We're dumping all of our income in bi-weekly paychecks each and every month. So technically, it'll take 2 months to zero out the original $13,870 because I put 8,000, 8,000. It's already 16, right? Now, for the remainder 5 to 6 months after those 2, so we're looking at 9, right? Getting close to the 10, 11. All I'm doing from the line of credit then on out is just pulling out what I need and putting it right back in. Pulling out what I need and putting it right back in. Okay? The same money. What's going to happen is that in the process of zeroing out the line of credit, he's going to zero it out multiple times because of his high income. Okay? So there's going to be months where he can't put the whole amount of money of his paycheck into the line of credit. Guess what? When that occurs, that's an indication that his cash flow is exceeding. It's growing. So when that occurs, he's going to let the cash flow build in his checking account. He's going to prepare for the next chunk that we're going to make, okay, on our next debt. All right? Very, very important. So we're not going to use this cash flow to pay bills, all right, which is going to sit, okay? What's going to happen is as he withdraws money again from the line of credit, he's putting it right back in, the same cash flow. Okay, it's building throughout the month, and then it's going to give him the ability to chunk it right back in. Because mind you, he's pulling out $7,000 or so each and every month. That's quite a bit of money out of the line of credit. Okay, which is why we have got that space, cash flow space, that drastically lowers the balance on the line of credit as we move through the months. So conservatively looking at it, it'll take 10 to 11 months, conservative, to zero out the line of credit. Aggressively, if he was taking home 9K, that means our cash flow is up another $500, right? So you just divide that. Add 1262 plus 5, divide that by 13,870. What do you get? I don't know. It's going to be a lot less than 9 months, okay? Cool. When that occurs, we are now going to look at the next debt that we owe, okay? Now, until I get my big board is when I can, squish everything into one video. But now what I'm going to start doing is breaking up the videos to make them more clear, where I go through the whole process of paying off $461,000, okay? The whole process. I can't wait to do it, and all because of giving. That's it. That's what this channel is all about. Can you give? I know I'm giving. I'm giving to you every single day. That is my commitment, okay? Just like what Jesus did when he walked the earth, okay? From the day he came down, he gave, right? God gave his son. And then what happened? Kings came to visit a baby because they knew that he was a king, right? And if you don't know the concept of giving amongst kings, amongst kingdoms, let me share that with you, okay? If you can stick around for a little bit more, because this is done. I'm going to have a part 2 to it. Pretty much just going to call it Velocity Banking in California. Part 1, part 2, part 3. Kind of like that. This way you can keep track. All right? But going back to the concept of giving amongst kings. Did you know that it's protocol? It's part of the culture that whenever you visit a king, that you must give something of value. You must give something to the king, right? And you present it to the king. You know what happens? That king has to give something back to you, right? But it has to be more than what you gave the king. Whoa. So see, what I'm doing with all these examples that I get, all the forms that people fill out day in and day out to reach out to me, I'm putting the pressure on you. I'm giving you time, the strategy, the focus, the attention that you need to apply this strategy to kill all this debt, okay? Or all the debt that you have, whether it's more or less, or right around the same. I'm putting the pressure on you because the Lord says that when 2 or more gather in his name, that there is a king in the midst, God himself. See, I'm not giving to you per se. See, I'm not giving to this man right here. No way. I'm not giving to him. I'm giving to the king inside of him. Right? I'm giving to a king. We are all kings, rulers of our household, kings and queens. And we serve the King of all kings, which is him on earth and in heaven and on earth, right? So I wanted to just lay that on you, right? And I'm going to go a little bit more into this because I think this is so valuable to know, especially for my young middle school students to understand this concept of giving amongst kings. I promise you, when you grasp this, you will provide so much value to people on this planet. More than you know, right? So when you give to another king, especially when you give that you feel it. See, it's one thing to give 10%, right? Like Old Testament says. New Testament says to give cheerfully from the heart. See, God wants us to give where we feel it. Because when that transaction occurs, now you put pressure on the king to give you back more than what you gave. Right? Oh man, don't let me dive deeper. Just like when Jesus was approaching the Samaritan woman at the well, what did he ask her? He said to the woman, "Give me a drink." Here we have the Son of God asking a woman to give him a drink. He is the well. He is the life. He is the water that quenches your thirst. Yet he's asking us to give. Why? So that he can set us up for a blessing. Just like what I am going to do with you. I'm setting you up to be blessed, and so that you can be a blessing. That's all I'm doing. That's the key here, man. I'm telling you right now. That's the key. So watch out when I give you a call. Be prepared, because when I call you, we're gathering 2 or more in his name. Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. I'm telling you. I'm setting you up for a blessing. I'm gonna give. And I know it. I'm gonna give right back. Even more, because I'm putting pressure on you, a king, to give. So stay tuned, because we're gonna go into part 2 on how we kill $461,000 of debt. Okay? Increase our cash flow dramatically, lower expenses dramatically, build our credit, all using our own income. And finally, securing wealth and leaving a legacy behind for his family. My name is Denzel. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.